Most people think salmon is the ultimate source of omega-3s, but the truth is, several humble little fish actually contain more omega-3s than salmon, and they might be better for your bones too. Here's the surprise. Eating the same healthy salmon every week could leave many adults over 50 missing out on the nutrients their bones quietly depend on. As we age, our bodies absorb omega-3 and vitamin D less efficiently. Circulation slows, digestion weakens, and calcium doesn't reach the bones as easily. According to the Mayo Clinic, certain small oily fish can deliver more usable omega-3s and essential minerals for bone support than most salmon varieties. Today, you'll discover 5 powerful fish that beat salmon in one shocks almost everyone over 60. Comment yes if you want more videos like this. 5. Rainbow trout, the gentle omega-3 powerhouse. Most people believe that salmon is the champion of omega-3s, but few realize that rainbow trout, a simple, mild freshwater fish, can actually deliver more usable omega-3s per ounce than most farm salmon. And the beauty of trout is that it's much gentler on the digestive system, especially for adults over 50 whose metabolism and stomach acid naturally slow with age. You see, as the years pass, the body becomes less efficient at converting plant-based omega-3s from foods like flaxseed or walnuts into the active forms that the bones and joints actually need, DHA and EPA. Rainbow trout skips that conversion step. It provides those ready-made omega-3s directly, so your body can absorb and use them immediately to support bone cell renewal, joint flexibility, and smooth circulation. But there's another hidden strength in this soft, pink fish. Rainbow trout carries a trio of bone-friendly nutrients that often go unnoticed: vitamin D, phosphorus, and selenium. Vitamin D, according to researchers at Harvard and the Mayo Clinic, acts like a key unlocking calcium's ability to move from your bloodstream into your bones. Without enough vitamin D, calcium simply passes through the body unused. That means even if you're taking calcium supplements or drinking milk daily, your bones may not be receiving the full benefit unless vitamin D is there to complete the process. Rainbow trout naturally provides both in the right balance through its rich, clean oils. And it's safer too, because it's a smaller, freshwater fish. Rainbow trout is low in mercury. Unlike some of the larger ocean species, it's also easy to prepare, baked, grilled, or lightly pan-seared in olive oil with herbs and lemon. The flavor is mild and comforting, no strong fishy smell, and no heavy feeling after eating. Take the story of Marjorie, a 67-year-old retired teacher from Oregon. She loved salmon but noticed it sometimes left her feeling sluggish after dinner. Her doctor suggested she try lighter fish, so she switched to rainbow trout twice a week. Within a few months, she said her meals felt easier to digest, her energy improved, and she noticed fewer stiffness spells in the mornings. Of course, trout didn't treat her joints, but by being gentler on her digestion, her body could finally absorb more of what it truly needed. So if salmon feels too heavy, try rainbow trout as a refreshing alternative. It's affordable, easy to find, and rich in clean omega-3s that your body can actually use. Here's the takeaway. For adults over 50, rainbow trout may quietly be one of the best fish for maintaining strong, flexible bones and steady energy, proof that sometimes the simplest choices bring the biggest benefits. Herring, the small fish with a big secret. It's small, it's silvery, and it's often overlooked. But herring may be one of the most powerful bone-supporting fish on the planet, quietly delivering almost twice as much omega-3 as salmon. According to nutritional analyses from the National Institutes of Health, the surprising part, most people walk right past it in the grocery store, assuming it's just a cheap snack fish. Yet this humble little fish holds a secret. Its omega-3s are highly bioavailable, meaning your body doesn't have to work hard to use them. For adults over 50, that's a huge advantage. As we age, our stomach acid levels decrease, and digestion slows. Heavy fish like salmon can feel oily or cause discomfort. Herring, on the other hand, is light, tender, and much easier to break down. That means more omega-3 reaches your bloodstream and ultimately your bones and joints without taxing your digestion. And the benefits go beyond fats. Herring is also rich in vitamin D, calcium, and magnesium, all essential for keeping bones strong and flexible. Harvard nutrition experts have noted that the combination of omega-3 and vitamin D can reduce bone breakdown and improve calcium absorption, two things that matter deeply. After the age of 60, when bone renewal naturally slows, let's make this real. John, a 72-year-old from Maine, grew up eating herring during his childhood, but abandoned it as he got older. Recently, after noticing stiffness in his knees and lower back, he added pickled herring to his lunch twice a week. Within a few months, he said he felt lighter, not because it was a miracle food, but because his digestion improved and he stayed fuller without the heaviness of large fish. The science behind that feeling is simple. The short-chain omega-3s in herring travel quickly through the bloodstream, helping reduce cellular stress and supporting joint lubrication, especially useful for seniors who experience morning stiffness or slower circulation. Another major plus: herring is low in mercury and high in flavor. You can find it smoked, grilled, or pickled. For those who prefer mild taste, fresh Atlantic or Pacific, herring cooked with olive oil, lemon, and parsley offers a clean, gentle flavor that pairs beautifully with steamed vegetables. If you struggle to digest heavier seafood or want a lighter way to boost omega-3 intake, herring might be your perfect fit. It's affordable, heart-friendly, and bone smart, exactly what the senior body needs. Here's the bottom line. Sometimes the strongest foods come in the smallest packages. Herring proves that you don't need an expensive fillet to nourish your bones, just a smart, consistent habit that supports your body from the inside out. 3. Mackerel, the joint protector and circulation booster. When people think of oily fish, they often imagine something too strong, too fishy, or too heavy. But mackerel, especially the smaller Atlantic or Pacific varieties, offers a perfect balance. Deeply rich in omega-3, yet surprisingly gentle on the body when prepared correctly. Here's what makes mackerel so special for adults over 50. It doesn't just support bone health. It also helps keep blood flowing to those bones. You see, healthy bones depend on good circulation. Without it, the minerals and nutrients your bones need simply can't reach their target. That's where the omega-3s in mackerel do their quiet magic. They help keep blood vessels flexible, supporting steady delivery of oxygen and nutrients to bone tissue. Now, here's the part most people miss. While salmon contains around 1.5 grams of omega-3 per 100 grams, some mackerel varieties carry more than 2.5 grams, nearly double. That's a major boost for joint lubrication, cellular repair, and bone density. But there's another layer to this story. As we get older, our bodies produce fewer anti-inflammatory compounds naturally. That's why stiff joints, slower recovery, and occasional swelling become more common after 60. Mackerel contains the fatty acids, EPA and DHA, in just the right balance to help calm that silent inflammation without relying on supplements. According to the Cleveland Clinic, diets rich in fatty fish like mackerel can support joint comfort, circulation, and even overall mobility in seniors. Let's make it real. Roger, a 74-year-old gardener from Cornwall, loved tending his plants but began noticing that his knees felt sore after long mornings outdoors. He didn't want to take pills, so his daughter suggested he try swapping one meat meal a week for grilled mackerel. After a few months, Roger said he felt more flexible and could garden longer without that heavy fatigue afterward. It wasn't magic, it was simply better nourishment reaching his joints. If you decide to give mackerel a try, remember this: choose smaller fish. Large king mackerel may contain higher mercury levels, so go for Atlantic, Pacific, or chub mackerel instead. They're cleaner and milder in flavor. Cooking tip: bake or grill with olive oil and fresh herbs. A squeeze of lemon helps neutralize the stronger aroma and keeps the flavor bright and refreshing. Mackerel isn't just food, it's fuel for your circulation, your energy, and your movement. It supports the arteries that feed your bones, helping every step feel lighter and every morning start smoother. Here's the bottom line. If you want to keep your bones strong and your joints mobile, Mackerel might be one of the best kept secrets in the sea, a natural partner for healthy aging and graceful strength. 2. Sardines, the tiny calcium powerhouse. They're small, simple, and usually tucked away in a tin can yet. Sardines might be one of the most powerful foods for bone strength and longevity after 50 faces. Many people overlook them because they seem too ordinary or worry they're too strong in flavor. But nutritionally, sardines are a goldmine. In fact, they contain more calcium and omega-3s per ounce than almost any other fish, including salmon. Here's why that matters so much for older adults. After 50, our bones naturally start losing density, partly because we absorb less calcium and vitamin D, and partly because hormones that protect bone structure begin to decline. That's why fractures and stiffness become more common even with small slips or bumps. But sardines bring a remarkable solution in a single bite. They're one of the very few fish eaten with the bones still inside, and those soft, edible bones are loaded with natural calcium and phosphorus, the exact building blocks your skeleton needs to stay strong. And it's not just about minerals. Sardines also deliver vitamin D and omega-3 together, a rare combination that helps the body absorb and lock in calcium more effectively. According to the Harvard School of Public Health, this pairing can support bone mineral density and help slow down the natural bone loss that comes with age. Linda, a 68-year-old from Brisbane, never thought much about sardines, but after reading about their bone benefits, she started adding a small can to her lunch twice a week, mashed with avocado on whole grain toast. Within a few months, she felt fuller longer, her nails became stronger, and she noticed less soreness after her morning walks. It wasn't a miracle, it was steady nourishment her body could finally use efficiently. For adults over 50, sardines are also incredibly practical. They're affordable, shelf-stable, and easy to prepare, no cooking required. You can eat them straight from the can, mix them into salads, or pair them with tomato sauce and pasta for a comforting, nutrient-dense meal. And because sardines are small, fish low on the food chain, they naturally contain very little mercury, making them one of the safest seafood options for older adults. Here's a helpful tip. Choose sardines packed in olive oil or water, not heavy sauces. The olive oil keeps the omega-3s stable and adds heart-friendly fats that complement bone health. So while fancy seafood often steals the spotlight, sardines quietly deliver some of the best protection your bones can get in the simplest form possible. Here's the bottom line. You don't need expensive supplements or exotic fish to strengthen your bones. Sometimes, a humble tin of sardines holds more real nourishment than anything else. On the plate, small, mighty, and perfectly designed by nature for your body's needs after 50 ounces. 1. Anchovies, the tiny fish that outsmarts salmon. You've seen them sprinkled on pizzas, mixed into sauces, or hiding quietly in Caesar dressing. But few realize that anchovies, those tiny, salty fillets, contain more omega-3 per ounce than salmon, trout, or even sardines. Yes, you heard that right. These little fish, often treated as a garnish, might just be the most concentrated natural source of bone-supporting omega-3s you can find. And for adults over 50, that's a game changer, because here's the truth. As we age, our body's ability to fight inflammation, absorb nutrients, and maintain bone density all begin to slow down. Anchovies deliver exactly what those systems crave. Rich omega-3s that help reduce silent inflammation, support calcium absorption, and nourish bone tissue from within. The magic lies in their ratio of EPA to DHA, the two active forms of omega-3. According to the Mayo Clinic, this balance helps the body maintain strong cell membranes, flexible layers around your bone and joint cells that keep them resilient and responsive. In simpler terms, anchovies help your bones breathe, keeping them from becoming brittle or fragile. But there's another reason these tiny fish deserve your attention. They're incredibly pure, because anchovies are so small and live short lives. They don't accumulate toxins or mercury like larger ocean fish. That makes them one of the cleanest, safest seafoods for seniors, even safer than many popular healthy fish that appear on restaurant menus. Let's look at one real story. Evelyn, a 70-year-old retired nurse from Toronto, loved salmon but found it expensive and hard to digest. Her grandson, a chef, introduced her to anchovies finely chopped and mixed into scrambled eggs and soups. She laughed at first, but after a few months, she said she felt lighter on her feet. Her doctor noted small improvements in her bone density scan, and she credits her secret fishy ingredient for keeping her joints smooth and her meals satisfying. It's not magic, of course. It's simply the power of consistency, getting those tiny, concentrated omega-3 doses a few times a week instead of only occasionally. Anchovies are also remarkably versatile. You can mash 2 fillets into olive oil for a savory salad dressing, blend them into tomato sauce for a richer flavor, or add them to omelets for a protein boost. They practically disappear into your meal, but leave behind their powerful nutritional footprint. And here's the best part. Just a few small anchovies can provide up to 1,000 milligrams of omega-3s, almost a full day's worth, without any supplements or large portions. So while most people chase expensive salmon fillets, the wisest choice may be hiding in plain sight in a tiny, affordable, humble fish that quietly nourishes bones, joints, and energy levels long after 60. Here's the bottom line. Anchovies may be small, but their impact is enormous. They remind us that strength doesn't always come from size. It comes from what's inside. And when it comes to omega-3s for bone and joint support, these little ocean gems truly outshine the giants. So now you know salmon may be famous, but it's not the only fish in the sea that protects your bones. From the gentle rainbow trout, to the nutrient-packed herring, the circulation-boosting mackerel, the calcium-rich sardines, and the tiny but mighty anchovies, each one offers its own special way to keep your body strong, flexible, and vibrant after 50 pounds. And the truth is, you don't need complicated diets or expensive supplements. You just need consistency, variety, and the right balance of omega-3s, something these 5 fish deliver beautifully. Maybe it's time to rethink what healthy eating really looks like, because real strength doesn't always come from the foods we see on magazine covers. It often comes from humble, everyday choices that quietly fuel your body over time. If this video opened your eyes or gave you hope, take a moment right now to support this community of lifelong learners. Comment yes if you want more practical, science-backed tips for living stronger after 50 years. Like this video to help others discover these powerful, affordable foods. And don't forget to subscribe, because every week we share new ways to stay energetic, independent, and confident at any age. And remember, this video is for educational purposes only. Always check with your healthcare provider if you have any medical conditions or questions about your diet. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind to your body,